instancing. So let's say I want to make an instance of this tree around my game, like around my world. So for that, I need to select the object of which I want to create the instances. These instances are just visual aids. So I'll create this button which call create instances. Then there are different options. You can also select whether the each instance should rotate randomly, right? We have pattern, you can create and see. So now there are like 8 trees created in linear fashion, but I can change it to different things. First, let's switch the grid to line. Now the trees are in one single line. You can increase the spacing, maybe let's say 5 or 7, right? You can also have different sort of pattern, like radial pattern, like based on the values in spacing it's gonna distribute. Let's say I want a circle of 50 trees and with the spacing of 10, sorry, radius of let's say 50. Now you can see all the trees are aligning in a circular fashion. We also have another a random way where all these trees will be distributed randomly. Okay, now the next thing is, yeah, you can also disable shadows if you want, because that will affect performance. Let us make it as an area, and in area we have multiple options, like do you want a circular area or radial area? So when we talk about area, it has some parameters like width and radius. So for example, let me put 50 by not 500, 50 by 50. So it's gonna distribute the trees in that square area of 50 by 50. Okay, and we can also disable center spread so that it perceives the squarish thing, a rectangular thing. Then we have radial area. This is important because it has inner and outer radius. So let's say you want to distribute things out of a circle. So if I add let's say 50, so it will have a 50 inner circle of diameter 50 and outer diameter of, let's say, 100, and trees will be distributed over there. So for now, let's make this 100 and this as, let's say, 300. Okay, and also increase the number of trees to, let's say, 500. So now you can see so many trees have been spawned, right? And this way you can distribute some objects which should be like proper visual aid. You cannot collide with them because if adding collisions to so many objects can remove the performance. But let's say you just want to use this feature for the distribution. So leave the tree for now. Let me add something which makes more sense. Let's say we want to do something with this. Okay, and I want to use this to distribute. So I will create the instances, and I want to create a pattern, maybe, or more like, yeah, I'll just stick with the pattern, not grid but linear or radial. Let's see what we get. Okay, I will rotate it so that, okay, they are all rotating. What if I align around the shape? Yes, now they are aligned along the shape. Now I have to just here and increase the count. Okay, and maybe I want to increase the radius 20 and increase the count to 20, kind of. Yes, but I also want to use them as objects. So 20 is again a very big number, so let us bring it down to 10, and radius to also 10 or 12 maybe. So now I want to convert them into normal world items. So right now they are like instance meshes without any collision or individual properties. But if I want to convert them, all I have to do is click here, convert to world items, and you will see all the different world items will be created. Now they are no longer instances, but rather consist inside a group, but they have their individual properties, and the model will character will collide with them. And I'll show you how this works. All right, so if you can see, I won't be able to collide with any of this tree because they are just for the visual. But if I go and collide with this, because since they are being converted to world item, I can freely go and collide with them. So that's how you can use instancing and distribution system for creating different world item.